Good evening. This is Sheila Hale. This is the WJZZ Cool TV. You are watching the coolest station in the world. Tonight is Preservation of Jazz Hour with Sky Covington. I am Sheila Everett Hale, and I am sitting in for Sky as she finalizes some things that she needs to do. And I am so very honored to be able to sit in and share some things with you today. Um, just thank you. We want to go over a few little things, housekeeping. As we battle the COVID-19 pandemic, it's clear that misinformation can be just as deadly as the awful virus and spread just as quickly. So myths are spreading on the internet and social media. So it's important to know the facts to keep our community healthy. The vaccines offered through Wayne County Public Health are scientifically proven to be safe. It's important that each of us get vaccines scheduled as soon as you are able. You can visit waynecounty.com/COVID-19 to get the latest information. And again, I am Sheila Hale. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live. Please like and follow, subscribe, share, and comment. Yay! I'm so excited to be here this afternoon, this evening with you. Had to rush down here to make sure that I'm here on time or somewhat on time, but I made it and I made it safely. Today we're going to really talk about the event that's coming up May the 16th through the 21st. It's all about music. It's sponsored by the City of Arts with a Z, A-R-T-Z. And it's a virtual city where the arts are celebrated, and we are having a music symposium. Symposium meaning that we're going to take care of business as well as hear some music, and we're going to hear from different professional musicians who we're going to talk about them, and we're going to talk about their instruments. So we're going to talk about keyboard players, bass players, guitar players, drum and percussionists, as well as, let me see, what did I forget? Horn players and vocalists. So it's going to be a very exciting event. 6 days of music about the industry, how to be successful in the industry. We have some awesome people that are going to be there. Billy Wilson he is the founder, well, not the founder, he is the president of the Alumni Association of Motown. So he's going to be sharing, the things that he knows, along with T.C. Tompkins. He's going to be one of the panelists, and all of this is online. So it's a virtual conference or symposium, and you'll be able to join in the comfort of your home or out. Even if you're out about, you can just turn your phone on and zoom in to Zoom or on Facebook. We'll be live on both of them. So today, where are we at? Let's see. I got a caller. We're waiting on someone to call in. And we're going to talk about, last night we had this awesome Zoom meeting so that they can learn how to manipulate and move around on the Zoom. And then also we broke out into rooms where the panels got together and talked about what they want to share with you. And it was awesome, just awesome. So we got some guests that are going to come in and talk with you and share, what's going on. Again, so what's happening is on every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from 1 to 3, that's business. So we're going to talk about, how to be successful in the music industry. We're going to talk about the things that you need to be associated with in order to be successful. We're going to talk about the the healing components of music. Like we have a brother, Samuel Ray Smith, is going to come on and talk about the bowls, the healing bowls, and all of that stuff. What is music about? And I know when I go into the hospital, my mom was in a serious situation. She's now passed, but there was someone there playing guitar and for healing, just to be soothing to her. So music takes all kinds of forms, and it's used for all kinds of things. I mean, just sound, just the purpose of sound. Oh my God, we're going to talk about the different organizations that you need to be associated with if you are a musician, and how during the COVID, what was happening, they actually had money that they were able to give. So we're going to share this next week about where you can get some money if you need some help during this time. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to also talk about, what do you do when you're during downtime? What did you do during downtime? My husband and I, Phil Hale, I'm Sheila Hale. Philip Hale is a keyboard player. What we did was we created 7 songs during that year and a half, and so now we are in the process of mastering them, which is new for me. He does it all the time. That my husband, he music is his life. It's his entire life, and he is one of the baddest keyboard players, I must say. So as we wait for my first call to come in, I just want to really let you know, I love this station, WJZZ Cool Jazz TV, because they really pump out some good material, and the conversations and the guests that they have are awesome, and I learned so much from them. Again, Sky Covington, this is her show, Preservation of Jazz, and she just puts forth such good music, and she's a kick-ass singer herself. Oh my God. I'll tell you, I've never seen anybody who can just ad-lib and come up with music and words that make sense, and a whole story, just ad-libbing, just freestyling. So I really want to thank Sky for doing that and being that. Uh-oh. I don't think this is supposed to be happening. So I got Giselle on the line. Giselle, you need to call that other line, please. Call the station line that I gave you.
Yeah. Doesn't work.
Okay, so all right, she's gonna call back, and then we'll get this thing going. So last night we had a meeting and on Zoom, and all of the participants were there. Most of them were there, and just to see the camaraderie, just to see them all excited about being together and finding out what each other, what they do and what they specialize in. It wasn't only singers. There were our musicians. There were also people who are in the industry as far as the business side of it. So, like I said, Billy Wilson was there, who is just, he's a master of helping people and developing musicians. Like I said, he was with Motown, still is with Motown in a different way. And TC Tompkins, who has worked with everybody. When I went to his website and I saw the list, 3 lists of the people he worked with: Michael Jackson. He's worked with, like everybody. Snoop Dogg, and he's worked with just a plethora of people. And he'll be there to share what we need to do. Giselle is about to call in, and she'll be sharing about the business of the music industry, and the legal side. What do you need to take care of as far as your legal side? How do you set your business up? How do you create your team? How do you do that? how do you create a good team? How do you and what I found is that a lot of musicians, they don't have a retirement plan. They haven't paid any taxes. Some have never had enough to pay taxes. They're living from gig to gig. And can you imagine your check coming from each gig that you do, and the world has been shut down? So it's been really trying for the music industry. But what's so cool is that we made it work. We went on Zoom and we did all kind of conferences. We did concerts on Zoom. We just made it work. And as a result of that, what has happened is those who are on the internet creating things like Jam Kazam, they're an organization or a business that I can have a gig, or I can have a rehearsal with someone who's in California, and the time it syncs up perfectly. So what it did is it made people stretch out. It made companies stretch out. It made people in their imagination stretch out and make it work for us. I tell you, I wish I had invested in Zoom, because I know people are getting paid now from that first investment of Zoom, because it took off. People needed to communicate with one another, but a lot of other businesses came out as a result of people needing to connect with one another. So, but my question is, what did you do while we were shut down? Did you mope? And I'm not talking about those who had tragedy happen in their house. I know what you ended up doing, but those who did not, did you create something? Are you going back to the same life that you had before? Did you up your game? Well, that's what we did. My husband and I, we started writing songs. I started the writing, and he was just playing, because Phil just sits down and there it is. His music is going to come out of him one way or the other. So, but we wrote songs, which is not what I normally do, but they came out pretty good, and we're going to the next step of that. So what did you do? Did you go to school? Did you take some classes online and stuff like that? Like, what did you do? Well, we got today, and today is the first day of the rest of your life. So all you got to do is just start doing something right now to make a decision. I'm going to create this now that I have this time to concentrate and focus. I'm going to create something brand new, or I'm going to up my game on what I already am doing. So let me see here. Bear with me, because we're at the last minute here, and I had some calls coming in. So we need some music playing. And if you could just bear with me, if someone would come and help me with the music. And while I'm getting some help in that area, I just want to share some of the other people that are going to be on there. Some of the bass players that we have. Oh my God. Ibrahim Jones is going to be on the panel. And we have Ibrahim, bass players. Ibrahim Jones. Ralph Armstrong. Ralph Armstrong has so much information. He's played with Miles Davis. He's played with just a lot of people. So he has a lot of stories. Hopefully we can fit some of them in. Not all of them are Ralph, but some of them in. But he's awesome. We have Chuck Bartels on bass, and Jaribu Shahid, and Marion Hayden is going to be on the panel for the bass players. I mean, that's a wealth of information. And the bass players are on the 24th. I think that's on a Thursday. But if you go to cityofartz.com, you will find the whole program there, list of who is going to be there with us on the panels, what the discussions are going to be about, and you would also be able to register because it is free. It is free, no cost to you, because this information is very important. So important, and you're talking about the masters, okay? You know, master bass players, master guitar players, master keyboard players, master vocalists. You're talking about master drummers and percussionists. You are talking about master horn players and such, like John Douglas and James Carter, and oh my goodness, everybody, just awesome. We have Dave McMurray. Oh my, I love Dave McMurray. And these people, their personalities are, they're approachable. They love people, and they love performing for you and playing for you and to you. And you'll find out the difference from that on at the show, at the symposium. Keith Kaminsky and Racy Biggs, Alan Denard. Oh my God! And then some of our drummers are Ron Otis, Skeeto Valdez, Larry Frantangelo, Ron Pangborn, Galen McKinney, and Sean Dobbins. I always have to make sure we get our women in there to represent us. So, let me see here. Okay, so on guitar, the panel is Eric Goebel, and I'm gonna tell you about Eric. I played with him for about 2 years on Tuesday nights at Light Show Bob's place. And I didn't know how awesome he is. He's an awesome vocalist as well as a guitar player, right? And then I hear he brings over his new CD, and I didn't know how awesome this brother is. Oh my God, he plays everything, and he plays it very, 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 very well. I mean, I was blown away. So if you can get Eric Goebel's new CD, you will not be sorry. You'll be, playing it all day and all night. Leif Asadi. Now Leif was on the Voice. If you remember, I think it was last season or the season before that. But he was on the Voice. And no, it had to have been the season before because they weren't in quarantine. And he did very, very, very well. Brett Lucas plays with Thornetta Davis and other people. He has his own music as well. George Friend, who is with Laura Rain, they're together. And then we have Perry Hughes and Pazman. So we got, like I said, we got some power hitters coming up. I'm just super excited. Super excited. Okay, let's talk about our vocalists. Let me see where we are in our time. Okay. So we're just going to take a moment, and you are watching WJZZ Cool TV. It is the coolest station in the world. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And we want you to please like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. Okay, I'm going to see if I can't bring some music up here. Well, maybe I can't because I don't know how to get in here. Okay. We don't want silence on the over the air. I'm going to just keep on talking about what's going on because I'm kind of lost. Be right up front with you guys. I'm kind of lost. Um, and I still want you to know about things that are going on at the City of Arts Music Symposium. You go there, Music Symposium, cityofarts.com. You can get all the information that you need from right there. Some of our moderators. We've got, Tasha Owens and Tino Gross, Giselle Caver, Phil Hale is one of them, At Peace Taylor, Carrie Lacey, Billy Wilson, Sean Blackman. Now let me tell you about Sean Blackman. So when I met Sean, to me, Sean represents world music, and I just love his whole vibe and all the different countries that were being represented in the show that I saw from him. So he's going to be, really talking about. He's a guitar player, and he is such a person. He's a person that just makes opportunities for so many people, and in reference to making opportunities, that's what the City of Arts is all about. It's about us coming together organically and creating the City of Arts, which is a virtual city where we can do anything and there's no limit to us because we're online. So we can have music from all over the world. What is so cool about it is it's like a cooperative where the more people come together, we hear different ideas, and we're there to support one another and create these opportunities. And instead of just coming to see what I can get out of this, how can we work together? How can we make sure you know where some money is for you? How can we make sure that you know how to get gigs? I know being from California, San Diego, I didn't know how to get the gigs. How do I judge what I ask for? How do I not undersell myself, or how do I not oversell where I know that maybe they don't have the budget for me, but you don't want to undercut yourself? And how do we not, as an industry, undercut each other? A person there trying to do something at a particular price, and then someone else finds out and they come and they said, I'm gonna go $100 under that and make sure that I get the gig. How can we come together and unify and make sure that everything works out right? Let me see. We have RJ Spangler, drummer who has traveled the world, and he's played with, and he has a whole orchestra of people that come in. And when I met him, Philip and I, he just embraces you, brings you in, helps you do your thing. Does a lot of jazz, a lot of blues, R&B, and more so the Blues Association, and have learned a lot. What I also liked in the industry is that they look out for one another. At least the people that I have been around, that Philip has been around, they took my husband in and began opening doors for all of us. And then we have Al Bracey, and Al Bracey, this is what I found out about Al Bracey. He's not a musician that I know of, okay, because I'm surprised at all the things that Al Bracey does. He also has a show here at the station, but he gets up one time and we had a jam session, and then here comes Al. He goes up there on the stage, and the brother can sing. I mean, he's a bad ass MC, but he can sing. I was so surprised. He doesn't promote that, but he can sing. But what he does do is he likes to promote people and bring singers and musicians together. He likes putting on big productions and giving people an opportunity to showcase their talents. And then we all know Bill Meyer. Bill Meyer is on Friday night. He's going to be hosting, or he's the moderator. And Bill Myers, everybody knows him from Bert's. And Bert's on, I think it's Thursday night at Bert's. And that will be coming up pretty soon, and maybe even this week or next week, as it gets warm, because they still want everybody to be outside and be safe. So, speaking of Bert's, one of the other topics that we're going to talk about are venues, and we have Shahida Mausi from the old Shane Park, which is now the Aretha Amphitheater, and she's going to be sharing her, and as well Bert is going to be talking about the different issues around the venue, and working with musicians and working with entertainers, and the difference in when somebody's all high and mighty and the ego is about blown out of proportion, right? And dealing with them versus people who are, they're masters and they've made it to the top, but they're still humble and they still understand what the people are going through who are serving them, and they treat them right. So we're going to talk about that, but we're going to also talk about, the what kind of costs they have to deal with in reference to entertainment, because sometimes you're like, they're so cheap, or whatever the conversation is, but they get to share what they are dealing with over there. Sound like somebody's coming in. Is someone on the call?
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, honey. How are you? Well, y'all.
I'm good.
You heard me say honey, so that's got to be good. Philip. Well, thanks for making it in, because if you're watching me, you hear me fumbling.
I know we're a little bit hectic today. I've been running around and trying to make sure that I had all my situation for the City of Arts symposium for next week, and the thing with the keyboard panel, which I'm doing on Monday night. And so I'm just making sure that I'm inside the mix here and state our goals and all things like that. So we had a good group last night, right?
Oh yeah, that was awesome. As I was saying, we all met, and so that we can kind of finalize and make sure that the show is really good for everyone. So How was it with your group, keyboard players?
Well, my group of keyboard players is hot. Okay, Monday night I'm looking hot. I got Jim David, aka Jimmy Blues, as one of my guests. I've also got Chris Kodish, Gerard Gibbs, Charles Green, Evan Mercer, Louis Rusto, and Alina Moore. So I have a really hot group. I'm very much looking forward to what's going to happen in terms of our interaction and what kind of information we're going to pull from these individuals to further not only the platform of keyboard players and what we've gone through historically, but also to look at what can happen in the future, because we're coming out of the COVID period, and people, even as players, we would like to set new platforms. People have goals that they want to move forward into. And so that's really what our thing is right now. And to see what page everybody is on. And we have guys, Evan Mercer, he's a young guy.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't even been in the scene that long, but yet he has done amazing things in that really short period of time. And how he's regarded from the point of view of other keyboard guys, he is moving forward. He's moving the platform forward. So we want to get a new perspective, but we have established guys like Charles Green. I mean, Charles Green's been around for a long time. He knows the city. He can tell you the whole history of a lot of especially in the jazz R&B scene guys. He knows a lot of who those guys are. They know him. And so we would like to bring all that history and all the differences between those guys into one forum where we get to talk. So I'll interview those guys individually, and we'll come together as a group and kind of see what the fun of where it all kind of goes, later on.
Oh, honey, hold on 1 second. I need to do a station break.
Let's do it.
You are watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And we are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and Twitter Live. We want you to please like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. And this show, where you are right now, is Sky Covington's Preservation of Jazz Hour. I am Sheila Everett Hale, and I am sitting in for Sky today. And you're listening to my husband and I think, Phil, what number did you dial? Because the number that I sent out, they said it is wrong.
The number I called in from was 313-355-6018. 60.
Okay, good. I sent 30. 60. Okay, yeah. So, some of these other basically everybody. These people were handpicked. These are people that we know, and that we know that they would gel well together and have a good conversation for you and give some good information. So, Phil, if you could talk about some of the other people that are going to be involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this list up while we're talking. But in the sense of it, we have there's a vocal night, there's a bass night, there's a guitar night, horns, drums. I'm sure I left something out in the mix of that. But because my night is keyboard night, and I'm very much focused on that right now as my pro. But in the case of any night, we're trying to get all levels of players and interaction. That's really what we're trying to do, because the City of Arts in itself, it's based on a cooperative vision of diverse artists, coming together. So we're looking to manifest or bring about the goals that move our individual creative efforts forward. So by understanding and agreeing about what our personal efforts and what COAS is trying to do as a network, these individuals, we're able to establish a consistency of all of our long-range goals.
Yeah.
Working as an individual, you're doing things on your own, but working in a group where that focus is better located and better able to be looked at by everyone involved, we can make a better creative scene for our audience. We can always play in our basement to ourselves and get as happy as we think we want to be in our own basement. But for me, it's always been about what happens when you go out in public and how you play on stage and how it is. So the whole symposium next week is in the daytime from 1 to 3 o'clock, from Sunday to Friday. We're going to have professionals coming in to talk about the business of music and how you would present yourselves on stage, and prior to getting on stage, while you're on stage, after you're on stage, to make that process better. What kind of things can you do? What kind of processes are in place, and how can you better understand them? And in the evening, you'll be listening to the conversation and the communication of individual musicians who are in the mix of that, people who are highlight individual musicians coming in to talk about that same thing from their own perspective, because the only way you're going to know how to move forward is to know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So we're going to have guys speaking from the history of music. We're going to have guys looking forward in the music. Everybody's going to bring their vision to the stage. So we're going to have that big cooperative vision where everybody is kind of coming together and speaking about where we're at. And it's going to be a lively discussion, definitely in the evening. I know that. And I'm sure it's going to be the same thing in the daytime with the business guys. In the evening, you got players coming in, talking to each other. In some cases, guys that have looked at each other, looked at each other's work over a long period of time, been influenced and maybe mythologically embraced by what they like about what the last guy, this other guy who's on their panel with them have done. And we get to talk to each other and ask each other about some of these situations. And I mean, you really can't get that done. You can't get everybody's number, talking to a guy. People are busy. They're doing their business thing at home. People have a telephone personality and all that. And they may not interact socially on the media, the platforms, because that's not what they're inclined to do. But we're trying to create an environment where we can get that to happen in one panel. And sure, it's just 2 hours, 2 hours in the evening, but that 2 hours can mean a lot to both players, listeners, and the business itself, people who are looking at the business. So we're looking forward to that opportunity next week, and we will carry it forward. It's not just going to be the one-night thing. People will be able to get their hands on this in the future to go back and look at it and see where these people are coming from. And I'm looking forward to that interaction on my keyboard panel, definitely on Monday, but all throughout the week, you have such high-end players interacting.
Baby, we got another person calling in about it, so thank you for sharing all of that, and we know we all excited. I think we got Giselle calling in. So thank you, baby. That was Phil Hill, my sweetie.
Hello.
Hi, Giselle. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Girl,
Finally got in.
We're trying to make it work here.
Make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do. So Giselle Caver is the author of The Key of G. And many of us who are in the music industry, we get her newsletters, and she keeps us updated on what's going on, and she knows everybody in the industry. She also is an event planner for a lot of people. I don't know what we got here. Are you still there, Giselle?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
So she has, she's the person everybody goes to when they having large events, or whether it's a big gala, or it's a big conference, or it's a big symposium. She's the one that people go to. So Giselle, share what you're going to be talking about. She is the moderator for business, legal setup, licenses, memberships, and building your team. And last night she was able to get with her team on Zoom. We were in different rooms, and kind of share what you guys went over for a few minutes.
Okay. Well, what we're dealing with is building your team. But even before you start looking at who your team is going to be and what you would require, you have to figure out if being in the music business is going to be a hobby, or just something that you do on the sidelines, or is it a business, so that you know which way you need to go? What kind of musicians do you need on your team? You have to make sure that everyone that you get to play with you, that they understand what direction you want to go in.
Yeah.
Do you need a musical director? Do you need an executive assistant that helps you with your bookings or does your media work? There are so many things that you need to do long before you step on stage, because you have to have a plan, a goal, and a direction if you want to make this a business. So I have Roddy Nelson on my panel, who is a drummer, but Ronnie is also music director for several of the Motown acts, and he has worked with Dennis Edwards and several of the Temptation groups. And I also have Rhonda Ravenel, who is a singer, but she's also an accountant and she's a psychologist. So what you have to do is, if you're going to be in the business, treat it like a business. You got to have the paperwork together. A lot of musicians couldn't get unemployment because they didn't keep a record of every time they were paid. So if you had no record that you actually were involved in the music business, then the state wasn't giving you unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
You have Stella Aldo, who is a fabulous singer and musician, but she's also a booking agent, and she's going to talk about what a booking agent would look for when hiring you to be a part of their team. And lastly, attorney Stephanie Hammond, who is an entertainment attorney. She started out with Big Sean and so many others, because you need, like I said before, you need a paper trail. And even though you may be playing with friends, you still need some kind of contract and agreement as to which way you're going and if it's going to be for profit or just for fun. So you have to make those decisions when you are thinking of being in the business of music.
Well, that's awesome. I think a lot of people do music as a hobby, but as you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, they still need to keep a track of what they're spending because when that hobby
Mm-hmm.
ends up turning into something serious, and you don't know
Right.
when that would happen, you would still have records of what you've already spent and where
Yeah.
what even if you're doing gigs for as a donation, there's a value to that donation. Am I correct?
Yes,
And they
your
should keep
time
that
is valuable.
in
Yes.
kind,
Whether
right?
you do in kind services for someone or you're being paid, your time is important and you need to keep track of that. You need to have a diary of what you do, where you played, who you played with, and in so doing that, if you get a gig that's a jazz gig, and all of your musicians are basically R&B, you need to know who can play this jazz gig with you, or if you're gonna, you know, you just need a paper trail. You need to keep track of everything that you do.
Well, Giselle, thank you so much for calling in and sharing. And your night is on, no, no, I'm going to say
Monday, Monday,
your day is
hmm
Monday. Monday. So
Monday.
go to the City of Arts with a Z, ARTZ.com, and you will then find out, get all the information, who's going to do what. We do have from 1 to 3 is the business panel, and then we'll come back from 7 to 9. There'll be all the musicians, and then we've got a jukebox where from 9 to 10 we're just going to play some music, original music from the ones that are participating and other friends of ours who have original music out there on YouTube and such. So thank you so
Right.
much, Giselle, and
Okay.
we'll be talking. Giselle has been such a great help in putting all this together. I tell you, she's the go-to for when you have an event.
Thank you.
She knows everybody,
Okay.
and integrity is great, high, very high on my list of dealing with people, and she comes with excellent. What she says she's going to do, she's going to do, and she's going to give her best no matter what. So, thank you, Giselle. I'm going to
Thank
do,
you.
yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Again, you're watching WJZZ Cool Station, Cool TV. WJZZ Cool TV. It is the coolest station in the world. And we are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and Twitter. Live. We'd like you to like it, like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. We have another caller that's going to call in any second now, Liz Laren, and we're going to talk about the healing component or the other about education with music education, how important that is. And speaking of education, this is the perfect platform for you to have those of you who are teachers or just want to learn something. This is like a field trip. You need to have your students and have them take notes and make sure that they learn something, because these are masters. I can't stress that enough. These are masters that are coming in and sharing what they have. So you gather your students. They're online learning anyway. So tell them to tune in on one of these or all of these and do some reports on some of the people that they are listening to. I think we had another person call in. And
hey there, Sheila.
Hey,
it's Liz Laren.
Oh, how are you, girl?
How you doing?
When I call Liz, she is such a joy, and I called her about one being on the musician, talking about the music, because you play guitar, right?
Oh yeah, guitar, bass, keyboards, and I'm a producer and a singer, and it's like, yeah, I can't balance my own checkbook, but I can play music.
Yeah, right. And then I found out that she has studied sound therapy. So I want to talk about the sound therapy, and also about Ray Smith was in the room with you last night. So kind of share what that is about and how important it is in people's lives, how important sound is.
It's so the future, everybody, so many people have experienced it over the last year, not, having trouble sleeping and having trouble focusing and feeling a lot of anxiety. And so many people have said, wow, certain music really calms me. So I'm so excited to, put this music out there, and then to meet other people that are doing it, because it's a whole community that feels really called to take the talent that whoever the superpower is that gives it to you and say, I got to do something with this. I've got to do something I'm supposed to do something, and what is it? And so, yeah, it was really, really nice to meet Al and Edwana. Yes, that's it. Just real sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what Ray brings to the table are the they call them sound therapy, the bowls.
Right. Absolutely.
Now,
and
so
so
cool
many people.
This
is a very ancient music, music therapy. Shamans have used this, and religious ceremonies, and in the Tibetan culture, and it really works. So many people that have experienced to say, wow, I just went into a deep sleep and I felt really, doing something called a sound bath, which is a very interesting term, where you go to a session where somebody's playing these bowls and they're playing gongs and they're playing certain things as a musician, and you can have a really deep meditative experience, and it's all so personal, your personal healing, Now,
I heard that each of us, because the sound is on the vibration, it's vibration as well, right? And that each of us we all have a note, we have a key to that resonates with each of our own bodies. Isn't that something?
Yes. This is so fascinating. I couldn't figure it out until I started to really meditate before I went into my studio, and I started to just slow myself way, way, way down and think about the different chakra centers. And there's 7 different chakra centers, and they all represent something, a different type of energy. And they all kind of can be related to a color and to a tone. And you can heal your heart. You can heal your throat, your ability to speak. You can, connect a little more with the spiritual realms, and it's all done through these tones and these frequencies, and it's just like, wow. But this is ancient stuff, so to bring it into current times, it's like people are ready for this,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It is so big. I am so excited about, all of you that I've been meeting. Well,
Yeah.
most of you already know. I already know, but as I said, these were, all of you were handpicked, and Philip made sure that there was a wonderful balance of personalities, balance of gifts and talents, and we just want everybody to just come and join in. It is free. You can go to cityofarts.com, arts with a Z.com,
Yeah.
and get your free ticket or your free, pass. And the good thing is that you can use that same pass for all of it. So once you register, then you just keep hold of that particular login, and you use it all week. So it is wonderful. It's from 1 to 3 every day, Sunday through Friday, the 16th through the 21st. And then you come back, go eat your dinner and stuff, play with the kids, get them in the bed, and at 7 o'clock, maybe they're not in bed by 7, but 7 to 9, you want to listen to the musicians and the panels that are coming forth from that. And then afterwards, from 9 to 10, there'll be the jukebox, City of Arts jukebox. Oh my goodness! So I'm really just super excited.
It's so honored to be a part of this, and the people that are involved with this. I looked around at all the faces, and I thought, these are the most giving musicians I know, and you have collected them all in one great festival. And for all the young people and all the folks in music, you're going to be able to find your mentors. You're going to be able to find people that you can email and reach out to on Facebook and say, hey, I've got a question, and they're going to help you.
Yeah.
So, this is a tremendous thing.
Yeah, and because it's live, you, the audience, you if you're on Facebook, you can be in the chat room, and we'll make sure that if there's a good question that you want to ask, we will make sure that the moderator gets that question and share it with whoever it's directed to. So you're involved, your part is very important. Those who are on on what is it, the Zoom, you as well get in the chat room and send your be part of it. So we're just super excited, and I'm so excited in meeting you, Liz, because we have the same vision for the industry, and it was such a joy to talk to you and everybody. Everybody has, as I was speaking to everybody, it would be hard.
Everyone's so excited. Everyone's like, oh, I've wanted to do this. I've wanted somebody to pull us all together so that we can get together and have these conversations about what are you doing and what can I do to help? And it's just, it's so, I just so appreciate it. And I just thank you for really putting this thing together. And I hope everybody tunes in, because it's going to be really, really special.
Really wonderful. Well, I am the event planner. I'm retiring from braiding hair. And what is passionate to me. And as I've been with my husband, and I see what the issues are, it's like somebody got to just pull it together. Just pull it together. So here I am, and
woo, you're doing it. You're doing it. I back you up 100%. And everybody is really, really behind what you are doing here. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you for joining me, joining us here on WJZZ Cool Jazz. Sky, I'm sure she thanks you and everybody there, because she knows everybody.
She's a tremendous talent. Yeah.
So I thank Sky for allowing me to step in for her today. And again, we're going to sign off because the show is almost over. You have been watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I like saying that. WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and Twitter. And we would like for you to please like. You know what that means, that little blue thing. Like, follow us, subscribe, and share and comment. And then, I'm just glad to be here. I'm sorry we didn't have music, but we were talking about music all day. One of these days I'm going to figure out how everything runs so that when I get in here, even if whether I have a show or I'm sitting in for my girl Sky Covington, Sky and I we are co-founders of Hug Detroit. So you see me around her a lot. And then sometimes I get to sit in and play the tambourine, and that's my thing, the tambourine and the lightweight percussion, the cutesy
That's
things,
great.
Right? And
Yeah,
well,
that's tremendous.
So you're gonna hear me and Philip's music as well. We've been recording. The other day we did our first video together. The song is called "I Love You So Much," and we got another song. It's about me. We got another song called Everybody Wanna Be Loved. So again, you've been listening to and hanging out with WJZZ Cool Jazz TV, Cool TV, the coolest station